Maybe the world is blind, or just a little unkind. Don't know. Seems you can't be sure of anything anymore. Although you may be lonely, and then one day you're smiling again. Every time I turn around, I see the girl that turns my world around, standing there. Every time I turn around, her spirit's lifting me right off the ground. What's gonna be? Guess we'll just wait and see. So maybe I should have practiced all the way through that song before playing it. Hi everybody, I'm back. I played the first verse, but that's the easy part. I was like, oh right, there's other chords down below. I should have practiced those this morning and not 2-3 days ago. Anyway, I think I looked back and my last ukulele video was like November 29th of last year, which is just sad. Like, there have been babies conceived and born between the time of my last video and this one. But I'm back and I'm hoping to keep this going. I don't think it's gonna be a flash in the pan, back and then disappear again. Because yeah, like at first I thought it was just, oh, I must have stopped playing when we got our puppy Moonchild, but that was Christmas Eve, and we didn't find out we were getting her until just a few days before. Like, I think we got her on a Wednesday or Thursday, and we only found out on like Sunday. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what was going on beginning of December last year. Maybe it's on my calendar. I could look back and try to suss that out, but it's not really important. Probably my guess is that I was just too darn busy because I had taken on too much responsibility in a couple of areas, and over time, part of it was we got a puppy, and that took up a lot more time than I was expecting. Like, when you're trying to do it right, it takes a lot of time. When I was, a newly 21-year-old and got Onyx and had literally no idea what I was doing, it didn't take that much time or effort. It was just fun. And sadly, she suffered for that because I didn't train her properly in some ways. I mean, she was a wonderful dog, don't get me wrong, but I see now, like, a lot of mistakes I made early on with her, and we've been trying to do it right with Moonchild, and she is definitely her own dog. She is very different from Onyx in many ways, which is probably a good thing. There's still times, though, when I accidentally will start calling her Onyx. I'll just see black out of the corner of my eye and the rough shape of Onyx, and I'm like, whoopsie. But no, she's great. She's a miniature dachshund, so she's not going to be as big as Onyx was, and she's all black instead of black and tan. For those of you who haven't seen pictures, because I know I haven't posted hardly any. I'm so bad. I'm the worst dog mommy ever, as far as that goes. Like, most people are like posting pictures every day. Look at my darling baby, and I've been too busy, literally, to do that up until recently. So I finally, it took some time, but it took time to come to terms with the fact that I was doing too much, and then it took time to step down from those responsibilities in a proper way, not just throw the towel in and say, bye, sucker, see ya. Like, that was never my intention. I wanted to do it right and make sure there were people in place to take my place in those roles that I had taken on. And I did that. It took a little longer than I was hoping, but at the same time, it took less time than I had originally anticipated. I think when I first kind of just made these decisions, I was like, okay, by the end of this year, this is where I want to be. But I've already pretty much gotten there. There's one last project that I'm hopefully wrapping up soon. I don't know exactly the end date on that, but it's not an everyday thing that I have to deal with. So point of all that is that I have time now to play my ukulele again. This beautiful, wonderful rainbow ukulele that my darling husband got me and has been neglected for so long. And all along the way for the past 9 months, I've, heard songs and thought, oh, I should make a note of that. I want to play that on the ukulele, and I didn't do that. So hopefully they'll come back to me at some point, at the right time, and I'll be like, oh, right, that song, and then I'll learn it and I'll play it. But the reason I started with Punky Brewster, okay, I did not grow up watching Punky Brewster. I was aware that it existed. I knew of the character. I knew how she dressed, very colorful. I knew she was an orphan, but that was pretty much the extent of my knowledge. I guess it came on at a time slot that our family was watching something else. I'm not really sure, but somehow it just was not something that was on my radar other than what I saw on magazines and commercials and things like that. So yeah, I did not grow up with Punky, but they recently made a reboot with Soleil Moonfry, and I was like, oh, I have to watch this since I didn't watch the original. But me and my husband watched the first episode, and I was like, oh man, now we have to watch the original because I'm not getting the references. Like, she said, thanks Henry or something, had a picture of her foster father on the wall, but like I got that, but that was pretty much the extent of it. I was like, okay, I think this person that just walked in the room is important to her, obviously, like from her childhood, just due to the applause, of the audience. I'm like, okay, clearly this is from like a flashback, or not a flashback, somebody who was in the original who has come back, apart from just Soleil. So I was like, yeah, we need to watch this to understand, get all the references, and really enjoy the show fully. So we started watching it, and I fell in love with it. Like, if y'all have not watched Punky Brewster, watch it. Like, it is the most wholesome, darling, precious show. I think we're streaming it on the Peacock network, if I'm remembering correctly. Which I don't remember if that's a paid service or not. I don't know. But it's, for even if it were a few dollars, I would pay it just for this show because it's so cute. The first season especially was just perfection. We're into season 2 now, and there was this one 2-parter that I was like, this was totally some nightmare fuel. Oh, sorry. Let me plug this back in so that doesn't happen. I didn't want my computer making noises like it just did. Yeah, there was totally a nightmare fuel episode, and I was just like, what the heck? Why did they do this? Like, this is terrible. Like, I'm sure some kids who watched that as children were traumatized by it. I was slightly traumatized as an adult. Like, what is going on? Those of you who know Punky Brewster, season 2, I don't remember the name of the episode, but the cave episode, I'll just say that. That's the one I'm referring to, and whoa, somebody was tripping that day when they wrote that episode. But anyway, and I'm enjoying it more the further we get away from that episode. I think that was at the beginning of season 2. So maybe they're trying out some new stuff, but I'm really curious where the rest of the show is going to go. And I know there are several seasons. I can't remember now off the top of my head how many, but several, and I'm looking forward to watching all of them. But I had to start with this because I love the show so much, and this song, like the lyrics, apply so much to Moonchild for me. I mean, Wisp as well. I sing it to both of them, but lately, like, basically, I spend my days with Moonchild during the week, some weekends too, which is fine. Um, but we are just we're good buddies. I take her on adventures, or she takes me on adventures, I should say. But we have adventures and we snuggle and we play and we have a great time. And just this, you may be lonely and then one day you're smiling again. And not to say I was lonely, like, clearly I had two cats and a wonderful husband, but it was during a pandemic, so I wasn't able to see the rest of my family. So yeah, maybe I was feeling, excuse me, a bit more lonely than usual and missing Onyx more than usual, and was finally ready to have a dog again. So all of that, and I had forgotten how different it is between dogs and cats. Like, I am not downplaying how wonderful cats are. Want to make that abundantly clear. One is not better than the other. It's just the enthusiasm you get from dogs when they are just like so happy to see you that it's like the best day of their life every time you walk in the room is kind of hard to beat. And not everybody needs that, but apparently I do, because it does something for me that I had not had since Onyx. So there's that part, and then every time I turn around, I see the girl that turns my world around, and she has literally turned my world around. Even before I made the decision to step down from the things I was doing, and those came to fruition, like, she literally turned our world upside down. Like, we had no idea what we were getting into when we adopted a 9 week old puppy, or 9.5 week, whatever it was. Because, like I said, I got Onyx when I had just turned 21 and knew nothing. And it was like living with my mom while I went to tech school. I didn't move out on my own until like the following year. So I was just young and dumb and having fun with this adorable little puppy. And she was my baby and my buddy. And it's very different when you actually like learn how to do some proper training. I did an online training course. And it really, really helped and worked. I mean, she has some stubborn streaks in her, and she doesn't always do what I ask her to do, but it gave us a good foundation to work on or work with and to build upon. And honestly, I should keep doing things more than I have been, but I've been trying to wind down on these other responsibilities. So that's going to be another thing I pick back up on, as well as the ukulele, is more proper training, and not just once a day at lunchtime. Oh, let's do a few of your tricks. Let's remind you, whatever. She knows those frontwards and backwards. And anyway, and then every time I turn around, her spirit's lifting me right off the ground. Like, fact. I mean, even though there are times when she really gets on her nerves and she can be really just a jerk, it's usually when she's overtired or overstimulated or understimulated. She's a puppy. Yesterday she turned 10 months old. So she's a baby. We're trying to give her some, whatever, you know what I mean? We understand she's very young, so we are not like, oh my god, you're the worst dog. She's not. She's a very good dog most of the time, but she does get riled up sometimes, or just too excited, and she just, yeah, whatever. You know how it is. If you have kids, you know how it is. If you've had kittens, you know how it is. Dog, it's all the same. They have their moments where you're like, oh my god, what did I do by getting this thing or having this thing? But the majority of the time, she is a joy, and she has gotten me back outside. Like, even before the pandemic, like, I just wasn't going out much at all, especially not like taking walks. Well, I take that back. I was going to parks and walking to play Wizards Unite. I'll be honest. But they weren't like just relaxing walks or walks for exercise. I mean, I was getting some of that too, but I was very focused on that game for a while. And this is a new experience being out, or not new, but it's brought back an old experience, I should say, of just being outside with just her, not listening to any audiobooks or music because I have to be listening for cars. Just focusing on the moment, focusing on the weather, how nice or not it is, but focusing on the breeze when I need it, and being grateful for all of the neighbors that I've met that I either had met years ago and then had just not talked to since then, or had never met before at all. Like, I've made so many friends in the neighborhood, both human and canine, just because of Moonchild, because she loves other dogs as long as they are not like super aggressive or too playful and get right up in her face. Um, yeah, so that's been fantastic too. So it's not just that indoors and outdoors with just me and her, it's also the world that she's expanded, and all of that has lifted my spirits. Absolutely. And like, she loves to just sit outside in the grass in the shade, just lay, or not sit, lay in the grass. That's one of her like favorite things to do, is lay in the shade in our yard and just watch the world go by. Like, watch bugs fly around. Sometimes she chases them. It's really cute. And but usually it's just she's listening to the sounds. She's watching cars go by. If a person and a dog go by, then she wants to go walk with them or follow them or whatever. But yeah, we've had a lot of good times just sitting outside, and I have not done that in years. Just going outside and just kind of almost meditating, just relaxing, not thinking about, oh, I gotta get this done, oh, I'm so behind on whatever. It's, I can just be there in the moment and close my eyes and focus on the wind and be grateful for it. And you know, in this hot summer, it's actually not that hot this summer. It's just some humid days for sure. But it's summer in the South. It's still hot. It's just not. I've had worse. I'll say that. Um. So yeah, she's lifted my spirits right off the ground. That's for sure. And what's gonna be? Guess we'll just wait and see. Yeah, that's life. But especially with a little one, you never know what she'll be as she matures, and in the long run, how long she'll be with us. You never know. I hope it's at least as long as we have with Onyx, but yeah, never know. But we'll wait and see, and I'm gonna enjoy every moment of it as much as I can, because even though I'm not taking pictures all the time, like I have taken a fair few. Let's be real. Just because I haven't posted them doesn't mean I'm not taking them. Videos and images, I need to go through some of the videos and take out stills from them, because sometimes you just can't get a picture of her doing something because she's too fast. But I could take a still image out of a video and it would be just fine and adorable. So yeah, that's on my list of things to do now that I have more time to do it. But yeah, so that's why I started with the song. Wow, that was a rambly way of talking about it. But I probably have used C minor before. I didn't necessarily remember using it, but it's been 9 months, so who freaking knows at this point. And G6, I'm not sure I had ever used G6. And this is one, so it wasn't on the main site I used to find chords, and it wasn't, I don't know if it was or wasn't. There's this other site, I think it's like Chordified. I don't know if it's chordify.net or .com or whatever. It had the very beginning of the intro, or of this song, but not the entire thing. But then I clicked on another YouTube video that was the entire theme, and it seemed to do it on the fly. Like it just made the chords. And I was like, you could do that? Oh, that's kind of cool. And then I found that they have a transpose option, which I'd been using that page for a while and I had never seen it because it just blends in. It's very, it's like the same color as not the same color as the background behind it, but very close. It's just a little bit lighter, so it's very easy to miss. Because the key it's actually in, I couldn't play. It was just the chords were way too complicated. So I had to keep hitting transpose until I got to a key that I could play and sing, even though I struggle a little bit with that high note. It's more, I can sing higher than that. I don't know what it is about this. Some days it sounds fine. This morning it was okay. It was passable. But yeah, what was I saying? Right. So I took some of the chords from that version, and then I edited them a bit. So I added the G6 because it was just G. So I'll just show you the difference real quick because it just felt redundant to me. It was too much G in a row. So if you do it the way they wanted you to do it. Maybe the world is blind or just a little unkind. Don't know. Sorry, going back to G is hard. Which is fine. Like it works, obviously. But I like to enrich it a little bit if I can. And I thought this just added a little more pizzazz. So you tell me if you agree. Maybe the world is blind or just a little unkind. Don't know. So yeah, and I just went to a site that has all the chords basically and just looked through the G's and found ones I could play and tried them. And I was just like, oh, that one, that's real easy. All I have to do is pick up this finger and I'm already there. There you go. That's G6. It's just these two. Yeah. So I was like, well, cool. I figured out another chord that's super easy to play. Maybe I'll use it again. Who knows? C minor is easy. E minor is not easy, but I haven't done it in a while. So I was just like, oh, right, that one. Gotta get used to the transitions. Always love A minor. And then I think I added that A7 at the end. Yeah, because it was just, what's gonna be? Guess we'll just wait. So I did, what's gonna be? Guess we'll just wait. Because that sounds more like the original song to me, to have it, because it's a happy song. It's a positive, lots of major or just regular chords. There's not a lot of minors. The C minor, that's the only thing I could find that fit that. I see the girl that turns my world around. And then A minor. Standing there. But you don't stay on A minor long at any of the times you use it. Every time. Yeah, you get right off it. And A minor doesn't even sound super sad. It's just whatever. The C minor does. That sounds like. Where was I going with that? About E minor. Do you sound sad? Yeah, that sounds pretty sad. So I just wanted to get off that A minor, even though it's like the least sad of the minors that I just played you, and give it a little upbeat, happier sound that still works with the notes you're singing. What's gonna be? Did I play that right? What's gonna be? Here we go. Guess we'll just wait and see. That transition is not good. And see. Yeah, I really, and I sang that note wrong. See. There. Proving to myself that I can hit a note. A lot of that I've just lost my muscle memory that I had gained from playing pretty constantly for several months. So I just gotta keep practicing and get that back to be able to do that. Because I'm pretty sure in a lot of my other songs I could do some chords without even looking, and I can do some of that still. Mm. I'm just trying to play all the chords from this song without looking. And then, was that G? Yeah. So G6. What am I landing on? Oh, I was just on the fret a little bit. Yeah, okay. See, this is why I did the song first. I meant to mention this earlier because I know some people love to listen to me rattle on and on for, oh my god, 25 minutes about random stuff, but others really just want to skip to the song, and I respect that. I understand that. Not everyone has time or inclination to listen to me ramble. I probably wouldn't want to listen to me ramble, but so I was like, okay, what can I do to avoid falling into that trap again? And I was like, I know, I can just sing the song first and then go over it later and talk about the reasons why I picked it and make fun of the mistakes I made. Because that was certainly not a perfect performance, but it wasn't bad. Especially after not actually practicing the song before I played it. Because I'm like, when am I ever going to learn, y'all? I've been doing that for so long. I keep saying, I'm going to get better about that. I'm going to practice it before I hit record. And yet again, here I am, still doing it. But I have a second song that I'm going to try to do after this one. And I will practice that one first. How about that? And we'll see how it goes. So that's it for now. Really glad to see you again. You know what I mean? I can't actually see you. This isn't Romper Room with my magic mirror where I can see you through my camera. But metaphorically, really happy to see y'all again, be talking to y'all again. Look forward to interacting with y'all in the comments, whether that be on Facebook or YouTube, wherever. Because I miss you guys like a lot. And some of you who are really enjoying these probably missed them too. So hopefully this is making you happy. And until next time, I'm not doing Have a Rainbow Day with you guys, am I? Did I start doing that with these videos? I feel like I did at the end. I should have looked back at my old video to see. But I do it with my Rainbow Bright videos, so I might as well do it here. Have a rainbow day. Bye.